Chit, 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 chit. You already know it's your boy Joe back at it again, codingphase.com, here in my garage. Today we're looking for some entry-level positions and seeing what's going on and what just got listed either today or Friday afternoon. So we could add it to codingphase.com and the job board for you guys. And we're going to go in here and basically, see what opportunities is here for Monday morning. Shout out to everybody in here. We see Miss Flames. What's going on, Michelle? How's everything? So yeah, man. By the way, definitely show me some love in the chat. Show up, okay? Make sure that you leave a message so I could give you a shout out. I could be like, hey man, shout out to you, like I'm doing right now for Osman, and also to National Pro Gaming. What do you play, National Pro Gaming? I'm on that Battlefield, bro. Battlefield 6. Holla at me. Add me on PlayStation. But yeah, man, let's get started, man. I'm going to go in. I'm going to get this going right now. Before we even get started, I'm going to make sure the windows are popping up properly. Shout out to my son running around here. My son, Jason. But yeah, man, I'm in here. So let's see, okay? So by the way, for anybody that's wondering, guys, if you're looking to learn how to code, you're looking to get started, right now, codingphase.com version 4 is out, okay? Up and running, everything's running nice and smoothly. You could come in here, literally, and just, go through the information we give you on the homepage. You can look at the success stories. Shout out to everybody that has sent me, the success stories so we could add you to the website. I really appreciate it. It really means a lot when you guys take your time to do that. And definitely, all you have to do, come in here, right? Right now we have that Black Friday sale where basically you get started with $30 a month, or you could sign up for the yearly and you could save some more money, okay? It's very affordable, and we basically give you everything from, the career paths, the courses, interactive lessons. We give you the projects for you to build for your portfolio. We give you the portfolio template. We give you the resume, and we go in and we search for job opportunities for you every single day. Either me or somebody from my team is constantly looking for new job opportunities. I usually like to go through Indeed first. Some of the people that work with me, they go through LinkedIn, Glassdoor, Dice.com, right? We basically do the work for you, so you don't have to. You don't have to spend time searching for the jobs, which one's the right ones that you should be applying to. We do that for you, and we go in and we add it for you in the job board, all right? So definitely look out for that, right? Get started, codingphase.com. It's very simple, pretty straightforward. All right, cool. So I'm going to get started here. I just want to see what's actually being listed. Okay, so I'm going to search for title HTML. I want to see what's going on with this first. Okay, this will usually show us most of the jobs that have to do with web development that are entry-level positions. Okay, so look at this: enthusiastic, remote, HTML developer. Okay, let's see what they're asking for. All right, ultimately top notch, meeting with web design to discuss product design. Okay, let's see in here some front end language, right? A lot of times, whenever you see this HTML developer or anything that mentions HTML, always remember that it's gonna be entry level positions. Most companies that's looking for somebody who has experience is gonna mention anywhere from 4 years and above. That's like a guaranteed you need a job with experience. From there, you will see it on the titles that will say either full stack developer, software engineer, or React developer. Those things, whenever you see that, they're looking for somebody with experience. It is what it is. So this is why I focus on these type of jobs, okay? Okay, look at this. HTML coding specialist, $65 an hour. Not bad. We're looking for HTML coding specialist who live in brief. Okay. Let's see what's going on in here. Okay. Yeah, the pay range is a little bit crazy. We offer pay range from $8 to $65 an hour. Okay. That's a little bit crazy. But look at this. This is looking for somebody to be an AI trainer. Okay. So most likely what you're gonna be doing is using the knowledge that you have and basically provide like real world experience with HTML and technical writing, right? For training their AI system. I don't know what their system is, but again, this is a position. All right, so let's see what else we have in here. So that was the ones with the title of HTML. From there, I like to go in and see what's in here that's listing HTML. I'm also gonna go into date because I want to see the latest one. Okay. All right, so let's see in here, HTML website coder. This is a contract work. Okay, $20 an hour. Again, this is like a very beginner uh, position. Again, this is great for those of you guys that don't even have a job, or maybe you do have a job and you're transitioning right now into a new opportunity. This could be a really good position just for contract work. Again, look at this, an hour to 10 hours per week. So in reality, all they need you is to probably do a couple of little things on their website. And again, this is going to help you in the long term to get more clients and also to get a higher paying job later on, because now you have real world experience. I see a lot of people that deny opportunities like this because they're looking for a top pay, but the truth is, if you have zero experience, you're not getting top pay. Okay, I could bullshit you and sell you a dream just like everybody else will. Okay, I'm not gonna do that, so I'm gonna be honest with you. If you go in and get a small contract job like this, you know, $20 an hour, $30 an hour, this is just for you to build experience and also to put some money in your pocket. You do a couple of little things, you make $400, $500 in a week. Hey, why not? If you're not making any money, don't say no to the bread. Okay, always remember that. Shout out to my boy Cam Perry. What's going on, Cam? I see you. It's been a minute. Haven't seen you in here, bro. Good seeing you in here, bro. Shout out to everybody in here in the chat. By the way, guys, make sure you leave a message in the chat so I could just go in and show you guys some love. So let me see. And also, too, if you got questions or any topics you want to talk about, definitely let me know in the chat. But yeah, I'll definitely check it out. Let me see. Reading through here. If I follow the final step and understand everything, can you guarantee me that is enough information to get hired if I study on codingphase.com? Look, I could tell you this. I'm not going to bullshit you. Nothing in this world is guaranteed, because I could go in and tell you, hey, man, I can guarantee that you're going to learn the skills. That's what I can guarantee, right? Now, when you go to these interviews, right, there's things that's on your end, right? You have to go in there and actually, make sure that basically, you deliver, right? Like you can actually show that you have these skills and that you can do this work, right? I could do everything. I could do every single step, right? Give you the courses, teach you all the things that you need to learn, right? Pick the right career path for you, give you the template, give you the projects, help you build your resume, get you to apply to the right jobs. But then from there, there's things that you have to do on your own where you know what I mean? Like I can't go into the job and actually get you the job. No one can do that, right? When you see that in boot camps, they'll be like, hey man, guarantee this and that. It's bullshit. No one can guarantee you anything, okay? But if you ever worked before, right? You know how interviews go. If you ever done any office work, you know how interviews go, right? It's a process, but does it mean that you can't do it? No, right? It's a process that you have to go in and go through, right? I always tell people like this: when you go to your first interview, it's gonna be nerve-wracking. You're gonna be scared. It's a new career. It's a new job. You're gonna be like forgetting things, and that's normal, because what you're there for is for the experience, to know what they're gonna ask you, what the interviews is like, right? And then once you have that information, you understand how the process is. Now you continue applying. Your next job that you go to, you're more comfortable, and most likely you get the position. Okay? But I don't like to go in and tell anybody, hey man, it's a guarantee that you could get a job, because it doesn't work like that. You get what I'm saying? It's like I gotta do the work that is teach you the skills, get you up and running, get you to the point where now companies is looking at you like a qualified candidate. But then from there, there's things that you have to do on your own, which is the interview process, which is just showing up and be comfortable. You know what I'm saying? So that's the only thing that I will say, right? You know, and hopefully, you know, you can respect that and you can say, damn, at least this guy's being honest and is not selling me a bullshit dream. You know, because all these people I keep seeing, like, there was somebody I was seeing an ad today that was popping up. It's like, hey man, we could guarantee you a job. You want to make 100. It's like, no one can guarantee you a job. Like, that's the number one thing. I can guarantee you that you're gonna learn the skill. I can guarantee that you're gonna get to the point where you're gonna be applying to companies and you're gonna be getting interviews, right? Which means you're qualified. I trained you right. But then from there, the process of getting the job, that's something that you have to go in and make sure that, you know, you get it, right? Also too, like, I can't apply to the jobs for you. You have to apply to it. So when someone asks me, can you guarantee me this? I can't guarantee you that part because you got to do your end too. Okay, only you can do that part. Okay, let me see. Reading through here, has two more news. Hi Joe, just signed up again. Hopefully finally make it happen. I plan to finish my portfolio by the end of the year. Start my job search in tech by the beginning of next year. Hey, we can start it by December, bro. We still got a lot of time right now in November, right? We could get that process done by, you know, mid-December and start applying from there. Okay, don't leave it for next year. Don't put that in your head and be like, yo, I'm leaving it for next year. That, nah, you go in and be like, I'm gonna get this shit done now. Okay, when you put that in your mind, you get everything done quickly. We go in, build your portfolio, build the projects, and then from there we jump into starting applying to the jobs. Okay, so please take that out of your head. I don't want to hear nobody say, I'm applying to jobs by next year. Say, I'm applying to jobs as soon as possible. Okay, I want you to start your year properly. Okay. Sage, Haki just says, how, well, you have courses on embedded systems. It's not my expertise. It's not something that I'm interested in. And for me, to be honest with you, what I'm trying to do is help people get into the tech industry, and jobs is going to be pretty straightforward, right? And it's going to be easier for them. Okay, so that's why I'm not focusing on embedded systems right now. We're focusing on web administration, email development, Shopify development, and we're gonna be jumping into CRM specialist. Shout out to my boy Johnny Lee. He's working on everything, setting up everything for Salesforce, so that's coming pretty soon. And also to automation, and automation is a mix between AI and automation services, talking about NAN, talking about Zapier, talking about using some of these LLM models to go in and set up certain automations, Chat GPT, you know, OpenAI, Claude. So we're gonna have all of that in that specific career path, which is gonna be for automation, and we're just gonna focus on how to automate, you know, certain systems for companies, right? That thing is gonna be huge this year, upcoming right now. I mean, it's already pretty big right now. Like, we're gonna go in and search right now, like, automation for the job, so you can see how this is moving right now. So let's actually look into this, right? So we're gonna start with, let's say, Maker, right? Let's see what pops up for maker.com. Let's see, Maker. Okay, okay, so as you see, AI agent builder, right? CRM teams, da da da. We're gonna start seeing some of these. I want to see some of these that start mentioning Maker, because I know the keyword Maker is like, it's too broad. So I'm gonna go in and go into NAN. Okay. So again, customer success manager, NAN. So this is NAN, the company. So let me see. Search automation. Okay. So in here, let's see. So there's a whole bunch of different things. Of course, you gotta go in and go through the job description to find the right ones. Okay. Because a lot of companies are now mentioning automation and everything, even though the job doesn't mean anything or have anything to do with automation. Okay, so they'll go in and list it. So for example, like this one. Okay, senior full stack engineer, right? And they mentioning here automation, right? So and see in here it says senior full stack engineer to join team behind Range GPT, intelligent cyber range design analysis platform, WYSIWYG interface with AI power automation, right? So this is more like being a full stack engineer, right? Working with LLMs, right? Python, etc., right? Um, Setting up the rags, all of that stuff. But that's not what automation is, right? So an automation specialist deals with not actually building the tools, but actually implementing the tools. So this is where everything is moving now, right? We was just well, no, we I was looking at a video from this guy who he's like a AI expert. He worked for Amazon, and he also worked for Meta, right? And he was talking about how in Meta they just let go of, I don't know if it was like 600 people that work in the AI department, right? But yet they hire a couple of other guys that are getting paid like $100 million or something like that, like $50 million, you know, because these guys you know, they're solid, right? Let's just say they're legit, right? But why are these people that's already working in the AI department getting let go, right? And it's because right now, right, there's certain skills that are more, how can I say this? They're worth more than others. Okay? So before you could be like a data scientist and be like, okay, I'm gonna work in AI, right? Machine learning, etc., right? And that will get you into some of these teams. Nowadays, right? They're looking for someone that is like a expert, someone beyond the levels of what people can do, right? They have to be an expert. They have to be at a different range, right? And what's happening is in the AI space is that there's things being separated, right? Remember, there's software engineer, right? And there's web developer. The software engineer works on more like lower levels of code, right? You can put them in to build a mobile application. You put them to do embedded systems. You could put them to do video games. You could put him to do graphics engine, right? Or a game engine, can build it from scratch. I mean, that's the level of a software engineer. That's how deep you could go into software engineering, right? So web developer is exactly what it sounds like. You are a web developer, so you're actually developing, web applications, solving problems, but in reality, you're not building the infrastructure. You're using what's already there. So for example, like me, I'm a web developer. I don't consider myself a software engineer because I've never really cared about going that deep into code. What I care about is solving problems, right? So the same thing is happening right now in the AI space. There's people that's going to have enough knowledge of AI to be able to be working within the industry, but not enough knowledge to be able to create the LLMs and create the tools for AI, right? And for this new industry, okay? You're gonna have to go deeper. If you want to go in and be like, hey man, I want to be one of those guys building my own LLM, you're gonna have to go deeper. That goes deeper than web developer, goes deeper than software engineer, right? Then from there you got to go into data science. Then you got to go into LLMs, RAG, all of that, and then going deeper into that. That's where that those guys there's like a $50 million, $100 million that are getting paid by AI, right? There's levels to this shit, and it's fine, okay? But it's really up to you how far you want to take it. For me, I'm a web developer, right? Now, with a lot of the opportunities that's coming up, right? There's gonna be a huge demand for people that know how to, basically, that know how to use some of these technical skills. Like you know how to code. You don't have to be an expert, but you know how to code and you know how these things work. You know how the web works, right? You're not an expert, but you know how it works. And then from there, you know how to use the tools that some of these engineers and these AI guys create to be able to solve problems, because their job is to create the tools. They can't solve every problem that's out there. It's similar to the concept of Shopify. Someone might say, well, why doesn't Shopify just go in and build an application for every type of a store that's out there? Well, Shopify is not in the business of solving everybody's problems. Shopify is in the business of building the tools and the infrastructure for you to build an online store, right? Then from there, there's a guy who's a Shopify app developer that creates apps that solve problems within the niches of e-commerce. Then there's a Shopify developer, which is the person who goes in and builds the online store. So the guy who builds the online store is using the tools that the Shopify app developer built, and the Shopify app developer is using the tools that Shopify themselves provide them. Does that make sense to some of you guys? Let me know, number one, if that makes sense. Number two, if it doesn't make sense. So I could put it here in a chart and we could explain this a little bit better. All right. So right now, there's gonna be a huge opening of, for demand of people that know how to use AI tools to solve problems for businesses. Now, do you have to be an AI expert? Do you have to be a software engineer that builds every freaking tool? Do you have to be somebody that goes in and builds the AI LLM models? No, you don't. And you could still get a pretty good job by knowing the right skills. And that's where I come in, right? With this new automation specialist career path, right? We're going to be focusing on that because remember, the average person, right, doesn't have the time. Like for you to decide, hey man, I'm going to be an AI specialist, right? An AI specialist guy that's like, you know, has a computer science degree, lives, breathes, shits this fucking thing 24/7. Because you have to understand there's certain career paths where you gotta be super dedicated and like you gotta have a certain lifestyle to be able to succeed. Okay? If you are a 30 something year old, right? Two kids, a family, a full time job, right? You have a life, you go out, right? You go out to drinks, you go out to a restaurant, you hang out, right? It's gonna be very difficult for you to go in and learn all of these skills that's gonna be at the lower level. So if you go in and you put that as a goal and say, well, this is what I want to do, then you have to understand you're going to have to change your lifestyle. You're going to have to change how you do things. You're going to have to change your surroundings. You're going to have to pretty much make this your life. Okay? This is why when you see some of these guys that are like super smart, like they look super smart, it's not that they're smart or like they're geniuses or etc. It's like they don't do nothing else other than this. Okay? If you want to be like this super engineer, you're gonna have to stop everything that you do in your life, right? And just focus on code. This is why when you see some of these kids that's like going to like Google or Fang and this and that, the perfect time to try to make it to those companies it's when you're young. You got no kids, no responsibilities. You ain't got shit to worry about other than learning and coding, right? Some of these guys don't even have a girlfriend. Some of these guys don't even go out. You go like this, they don't even know what that is. They never smelled it. You know what I'm saying? Like, like again, I'm always cracking jokes, but it's the facts, right? Like, they don't know because their life is this. You got to pretty much dedicate your life into it. Now, the average person who comes to me is someone who is busy, someone who is trying to get a new job, trying to get a new career, learn new skills, right? And they might not have all that time that it takes for you to go into the lower level of AI or even web development, right? That's where I come in. My job is to go in and look for opportunities for them because just because you might not have the time or you might not have the passion or you might not have, the drive to go super deep into code, doesn't mean that you have to be broke. There's a lot of opportunities out here. Always remember, all of this is just a job, right? And the way how I look at things is, what would you rather be getting paid for? You rather be working at Walmart making $14 an hour, right? Or you rather go in and say, hey, let me go in and learn a couple of technical skills and I'm making $60, $70 an hour, right? At the end of the day, always remember this, it's a job. No one likes to work. You like to work? I don't like to work. I hate working. I hate having to work for somebody else. But if I'm gonna have to work to survive in this world and take care of my kids, take care of my family, I'm gonna do something that's gonna pay me a lot. That's just how it is. So those people are the people that come to me, and I try to go in and find those opportunities for them. So that's why we're focusing on those specific things. You know what I'm saying? That's just the facts. All right. Shout out to everybody in here, man. Let me see what's going on. You guys are laughing. You guys is like, yo, yeah, you're laughing. It's like, yeah, bro, but it's true. Look, it's like, I'll give you an example, right? There's times that I'm scrolling through Twitter, right? I'm scrolling through Twitter and I'm like looking at things in there, and I'm looking at guys that's like working on really cool projects, right? Like really cool projects, shit that no one asked for, right? But it's cool projects, right? And I'll be thinking in my head, I'm like, where do these guys find time to do this, right? And when you go in and you start checking the profile and you start checking, like the things that, in a sense, like snooping around, like seeing like what do? They don't do shit. Like they don't go out, they don't fucking hang out, they don't fucking go out for drinks, they don't fucking go chill with friends. They're fucking coding all day. So when someone is doing that 24/7, right? You have to understand is a certain type of lifestyle that you're gonna be having to do. For someone like myself, I'm not planning on doing that. You get what I'm saying? And also too, like when I work on projects or things that I work on, it thinks that is gonna generate me income. If it doesn't generate income, how you doing? Let me see. See what these people order. Joe Santos Garcia. You too. Yeah, got a little package. Right? So it's the beauty of being outside. It's a beautiful day today, man. I just want to be out. But yeah, like I was saying to you, like sometimes I'll be scrolling through Twitter and all of this stuff, and I'm like thinking in my head, I'm like, where do these guys find the time? Because I know for me, right? I know when I was by myself, right? When I was like 2011, 2012, I had all the time in the world. I could work on a million random projects, build shit that didn't make sense, or cool little things that makes us developers excited. But you reach a point where your time is very limited, okay? It's like today. Today I focus all of the morning. Today's Sunday, right? I didn't get to go to church today, but today's Sunday. I spent the whole morning working on new things that we're adding to codingphase.com. Now, I could choose and say, well, maybe I could just start building some random cool shit with AI and some random bullshit. But to be honest with you, my time is so limited because I have a family, I have kids, I have things that I have to do throughout the week. And the days that I want to relax, I don't want to relax coding and building some random shit. If I'm going to work on something, it's something that's going to pay me money either now or in the future. But again, there are people out there, they don't have shit to do. They don't have shit to do. They don't have no responsibilities, right? So they're fine to work on some random project that's not gonna pay them or do anything because it's just done by themselves, and they made $4,000. Shit, they got enough for their house bill, and most likely don't even have a car. Some of these people just fucking take Ubers everywhere, and they're comfortable with that. Me, I got a house, I got multiple businesses, I got 4 kids, I got a wife I gotta chill with, I gotta get some groceries for the house, you get what I'm saying? So my time is very limited. So when I go in and I decide I'm gonna work on something, it's gonna be something that's gonna pay me for that time, right? And that's how most people that's out here, once you reach a certain point and you're an adult, like you're most likely living the same type of lifestyle, right? And that's why I tell people like all the time, when you see me here, I'm trying to put you on to the same mindset, but the same wealth as me. Like, yo, so you can make some bread, right? Because the worst thing to do is like to just go in and be like, I work all day, I do all this stuff, and I'm not getting paid what I'm supposed to. When I work on something, I might not make money that same instant, but that thing pays me for 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years in the long term, right? I don't just go in and build projects just to build projects. I go in, I do research, I see what the market is looking for, I see what the opportunity is at. If I have to learn a new skill, I learn the skill that's required. I don't learn random shit. I only stick to the things that's gonna get me paid. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody that's in here. So I'm just trying to think realistic, but I appreciate the motivation. I can do this. We all can. Yeah, you got this, bro. I'm trying to just flip that little thing on your head, like, yo, don't think about next year. Think about what you could do this month, right? If you could knock everything out this month, bro, we got the portfolio template on the website for you, right? Use that, okay? You could always change that. You could always edit that. You could, use something else later on, but at least get that done. Get your domain, right? Go through, go through the courses, and then build the project that you're supposed to build. And then from there, add it to that portfolio. Then use the resume builder that we have on codingphase.com, right? Everything's laid out for you. It's 100% guaranteed that goes through the ATS bots. I've tested it in more than 30 different job boards. So it can make sure that it goes through the ATS bots, right? You go in, you use that resume, you fill it out, and you apply to the position, right? I guarantee you're going to get seen, okay? Now, when you go in and you get those interviews, make sure, show up on time, make sure you look top notch, make sure that if it's a Zoom call, it's a nice camera, nice lighting. Presentation is very important, okay? Show that you care so you could go in and get that position. And then from there, that's it. New job, new lifestyle, new shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? And then from there, don't forget once you get the job, send me an email so I can add you to the Hall of Fame. Okay? Don't be like so many people that we've had thousands of people that come to codingphase.com. They come in, they get a job, and then I find out that they got a job through LinkedIn. And it's like, bro, just send me an email. It makes me feel good. Also, too, when you share your story in the Hall of Fame, it helps me out in the long term because it's like, okay, it's another person, added to the list of the thousands of people that we've helped, right? So, again, I know some people are like, man, that's just public, Joe. I don't want to put my face out there. It don't cost you nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you you getting posted at a website where, it's like, hey, some crazy shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, no, it's like you're sharing your story. Hey, I came in, I learned how to code, I was interested in this, right? Came to Coding Phase. Joe laid out the game plan. I did the courses, built my portfolio, did my resume, applied to jobs. Now I'm working. That's it. You share your story, and that's it. But once you get hired, don't forget Stu Munoz, man, because some people be acting funny, man. All I ask is for that little, bullshit testimonial, man. Some people, it's like pulling teeth, man. But I get it because I'll be honest, man. I'll be buying products and I've never left a review anywhere, bro. Like, I get it. That's why when people be like, Joe, I'm gonna send it to you, and then they never send it, I get it because I never leave a review anywhere. So I'm gonna start this year. I'm gonna start leaving reviews, bro. Because I'm like, yo, it's fucked up. You go to a good restaurant, you love the food, and you don't even leave them a 5-star review. Like, come on, leave them a little something. You get what I'm saying? But I get it. Again, let me see. AI, this is a great topic for tomorrow's meeting. Yes. Let me see. Avisa V says, and what's the solution for that? Someone who's in multiple shifts of skills at a time. So you're doing a whole bunch of different things at the same time. My advice is stick to one thing, right? Because what happens is you could learn enough from like multiple things, but you gotta have one goal, right? You gotta have one specific goal. You gotta go in and say, okay, what is it that I want? I want to start working. Cool. So, what is the career path that I'm going to choose that's going to allow me to start working as quickly as possible? It might not be the dream job that you want. It might not be the company that you might want, but you got to accomplish that first goal, which is I want to start working and start making money with the skills that I've been training myself for, right? I see so many people that come in, they train themselves, they get into this thing, and basically they don't make a dollar from this. From day one that I started learning how to code, I was making bread, bro. Like no cap. And that's because I'm a hustler. If I gotta do whatever I gotta do, I'm not investing into something to not get that money back. I got to make that money back because no one is going to give it to me, right? I'll give you an example, right? When I started learning how to code, first thing that I did was I started looking on Craigslist. So if you go to Craigslist, right, and this is still available to every single one of you guys, okay? This is available to every single one of you guys, all right? You could go to Craigslist and you'll be surprised. You'll be like, Craigslist, Joe? Right? So Craigslist, and nowadays you got Facebook Marketplace. But let's say right now I know how to code. I know a couple of little things, right? Basic things. I know how to build a page. Okay? I could easily come in here and check through the gigs, right? And then here in gigs, go in and search web. Okay? So look at this, right? This is just here. Okay, web designer, SEO experts needed, freelance on cap commission, right? So in here, this is a company we're looking for people who build niche local websites and want to earn uncapped commission, embedding our junk remove booking system. You build the site and Drive, we handle the rest, filming and payment support, etc. Right? You could go in, check that out, see what it is, right? Again, this is in Tampa, right? This is the Tampa Bay, right? If I want to go in and look at maybe at a bigger city, I'll find more opportunities. Okay, New York City. Go over here, gigs. Okay. All right, and here we go. Okay, junior or senior web developer, part-time, $60 to $70. I'm looking for a junior senior web developer for my projects. Please apply with your resume and location. This is in New York, okay? This was posted 5 days ago. Now, you might say, wait, what the hell? Craigslist? There's people posting on Craigslist? Yes, okay? Always remember this. Who are the people that got bread, right? Think about it, right? It's not going to be the young people, right? The young people don't have bread. You go in and you talk to anyone from like 18 to like 27, 28. Almost everybody broke. They don't got bread like that, right? A lot of them don't have the bread to go in and hire somebody for a project, right? Most of the time, the people who are willing to hire somebody and looking to pay, looking to get something done, and maybe they're not technical enough to be able to do something, but they have an idea, you're going to find them on Craigslist. You're going to find them on Facebook Marketplace, okay? That right there allows you to make your first $500, $1,000. Let's say somebody comes into codingphase.com. Codingphase.com is $30, right? With the skills that you learn on codingphase.com, with $30, you could go in, put yourself out there, you make $200. You basically flip your $30 into $200, $300. You did a 10x, 7x on your money, right? Now, why does this work? It's very simple. You have a skill. It's like a carpenter. If you learn how to go in and build tables, you gotta go and put yourself out there, even if it's a freaking, what's the name of that shit? You know, when it's not like a festival. You know how sometimes they do like local community events and people come in, put up their tent. Those are hustlers. Those are people that got skills. Artisans, right? They could come in, build a freaking a candle. They could go in, build some custom freaking belts. They could come in and build you a chair. They could come in, draw a painting. That's a hustler. You have a skill. You got to put that skill to work for you, You know what I'm saying? You are a developer. What you think? You can't make no bread with this shit? This shit is fucking, it's a money machine, bro. It's a skill that people don't have. It's a skill that people are not willing to sit down and learn it. You think it's easy to sit down in front of a computer and be like, yo, let me sit down on a Sunday and start learning some random shit that I've never done before? The average person is not willing to do that. That's what makes you different. You get what I'm saying? So now what you do is you monetize the skills that you have so you can make bread. And you could do it with a job or you could do it on the side. You get what I'm saying? So if you're over here thinking to yourself, like, man, I'm doing a bunch of different little things, the number one thing that you got to focus on is how do I start making my first $100? Everything else is irrelevant. Sometimes you hear the stories of like, man, if you're passionate about something, right? And you go for it, the money will come to you. That's bullshit. Okay? That's bullshit. You could be passionate about something that will never bring you money. You have to go in and first focus on what's going to get you paid. And then from there, you go in and you do the passion things on the side. Because guess what? This world doesn't survive on hugs and kisses. This world is about bread. If you ain't got no bread, you out here lost in the sauce. You get what I'm saying? That's the facts. Okay? So if you're learning a bunch of different things and getting into a bunch of shit, stop everything, okay? And go in and write down all the things that you've been learning and say which ones are the things that's gonna actually get me my first bag. And if none of them could go in and show you, and you could say, well, I'm learning this skill, I'm learning this skill, I'm learning this skill, and if all of them tell you, well, I'm gonna get a bag 6 months from now, a year from now, stop whatever the hell you're doing. That shit is not gonna bring you anything right now. You could do those things later on once you already got your bag. If you can't make a bag, if you can't make $500 out of whatever it is that you're learning, and you can't do that this month, that's not a good thing that you're doing. And that's how I will go in and disqualify the things that I want to get into. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you just balling, if you're a poppy mommy kid, you ain't got no worries, you do shit for a hobby, hey, do whatever you want to do. Don't listen to me. I'm just a dude that's out here surviving in this world and getting my bag every single day. If you're like me, you're like, yeah, I want to get a bag, then you listen to me. If you don't, if you're in a comfortable position in this world, you're a poppy mommy kid, you're already in a good job where you're comfortable with whatever it is that you're doing there, continue doing what you're doing. You're doing just fine. Now, if you're like me, I'm not comfortable. I've never been comfortable. I'm always grinding. I'm always pushing myself forward. And the way how I determine success is how much my bank account has. If I'm broke, I'm stressed. If I'm not broke, I'm balling and I'm chilling. You know what I'm saying? But that's just me. But I know some people that they could be broke and they're happy being under a bridge. I can't live like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not one of those people. I'm not one of those people hugging a tree and just happy with whatever God gives them. Nah, God gives me enough, and now I gotta get more. That's how I look at it. Let me see. Reading through here, I locked down two 130 jobs at once. Nice. Is Liquid like EJS? Yes. Liquid is a templated language. Yes, all templated languages are the same. Programming rally is like, yo, that's me, bro. I have no life. Wife hates it. Yeah, there's some people that if you're in that position, shit, try to live your life as much as you can on that same type of lifestyle. But once you hit a point where you have kids, it's a lot of responsibilities that come, right? And that's the thing that I feel like I bring into the table, because people have seen me when I didn't have no kids, I didn't have no wife, and the transition and the growth and the type of mentality that I've had over the years have shifted as I become older, become more responsible. You know, Joe from 2017 is not the same Joe from today. Let me see, running through here. Yeah, and there's always, like I said, there's always gonna be people for everyone, right? Like right now, maybe you might be like one of these guys that's into like working out, right? And you want to go in and be like, man, I would love to have like somebody that just like loves to work out. After working out, goes to does some coding, and then from there, hits the Miami scene. There's somebody out there for you, right? For me, I'm in a different space in life now, right? So. Let me see. Just a WordPress dev job for 120 and 150 in Atlanta. Yeah, because they're looking for people who are experienced. Always remember this. Once it goes to over 100,000, they're looking for somebody with experience. It's not they're looking just the average person. But that's why it's so important to take those 65, $85,000 jobs, because without those 65, 85,000, you can't get to 100, 120. It's a process. You got to build yourself up. Let me see. Reading through here. Uh, Ralph on Real says, question about email dev portfolios. Can you use any images, or will there be a license issue? You can use any images, because in reality, you're not selling it. You're using it as a template or as an example of what type of work you can do with the right design. You're not a designer unless you are, right? But most people it's not designers, right? I had somebody the other day in one of the accountability meetings that I was trying to explain to them why their project looked like shit. And people don't, when I say that, it's like, yeah, your project look like shit. It's not me being an asshole. I'm trying to be your friend and tell you, hey man, this doesn't look good, right? And the reason why it doesn't look good is because you're not a designer. Now, if you go in and say, well, Joe, I want to step up my design work, and it's like, well, now you're gonna have to learn two things at once. You're gonna have to learn how to code, and then also to learn about design. So the way how you gotta look at this is, when you go and work at a company, you're not the designer. There's already a professional that does that. So when you go in and you show to these companies or a client, and you're showing them the type of work that you do, you don't want to go in and design it yourself. You want somebody who's a professional to design it, and then now you make it into a real life application. And if you don't know how to do that, right, it's very simple. You could use AI right now, or even simpler, get a template. A template costs you $10, $15 on themeforest.net. You use that template, you build whatever backend or whatever functionalities you need in the front end, and then now you could go in, when you show it to a client, they're like, wow, this is a beautiful website. And it's like, yeah, it's a beautiful website, and I build the application on it. That's what you're getting paid for. You're not getting paid for it being a designer, right? So it's fine to use, like, let's say, email that a company has sent you. When someone sends you an email, you can reuse that same design and those assets to go in and pretty much like, build your template, build your portfolio or project, so that way you could look like, hey, I worked at Capital One, I worked at Spotify, I worked at this and that. Not saying that you worked at those companies, but your quality of work is at that same level, and that's where once you're able to demonstrate that, you're good to go. You know what I'm saying? It's very easy. So yeah, don't worry about licenses and this and that. When you gotta go in and have license for something, is when you're gonna sell it. Okay, anything on the web is free game. Okay, if you go in and you go to a website and you rebuild that same type of website with the same type of elements, same layout, nobody can sue you for that. It's the web. Okay, like there's no copyrights on the web, right? What there's copyrights and trademarks is on design, logos, right? But if you go in and take, like, let's say you go to a website and you like a certain animation, that's yours. No one can stop you. You go in and you look at a website and you like the layout and you rebuild it, not copy and paste it, rebuild it, and then build it your own way. That's yours now. Nobody can stop you. That's just the facts. That's what's cool about the web, and also sucks. Same thing with mobile applications. Why you think people go in and you have a mobile application that's super popular, and then you have like 50,000 competitors, and nobody could sue them. You know what I'm saying? So, let me see. Master the master for entry level jobs. Will you still learn JavaScript or just look at PHP? No, you're still gonna have to learn JavaScript, guys. You're not gonna get away from JavaScript. JavaScript is like the ABCs of web development. Okay, you need HTML, CSS, and JavaScript no matter what, right? Now that there's some positions that you might not need JavaScript to get started and to get hired, that's a fact. Like a web administrator or webmaster or email developer, you don't need to know JavaScript. You just know that JavaScript exists, okay? But you don't need to be an expert in JavaScript to get the job, right? But as you continue to grow as a developer, right, you're gonna need to learn JavaScript, because even if you go in and you say, well, I'm an email developer, right, and all I do is just the HTML emails, but then one day they're gonna ask you, hey, we need you to actually go in on this landing page and integrate this Google tag or this Facebook pixel or this TikTok pixel, and we're gonna need you to trigger it whenever the user clicks on this specific button and they fill out the form. And then you're gonna go in like, well, I'm just an email developer, man. I just know HTML, CSS. At that point, now you look like a tintere, because it doesn't take you that much to go in and learn what JavaScript is and how a function works and how to manipulate the DOM that you say when there's a click on this button, an event gets triggered, and then from there we do a request to this API. That's it. We're not asking you to do animations. We're not asking you to be an expert. We're not asking you to be doing, the next Netflix. We don't need you to do all that shit. But as you start working in companies, there's little tasks that they're gonna throw at you that you will have to pick up some type of JavaScript. So you're not gonna get away from JavaScript, okay? Even if you are a backend developer, or even if you are a web developer doing emails or web administration, you can't get away from it. JavaScript is the ABCs, right? HTML, CSS is, and JavaScript is ABCs. You get what I'm saying? You can't write a book without the ABCs, bro. Okay, so it's the same thing. We're in through here. I'm still struggling to find a sweet spot to learn the basic ways how I can retain information. I learn, watch videos, learn and forget as fast as that video is done. Well, the reason why that's happening is you don't go to the right platforms. You got to come to codingphase.com, okay? The main problem when people forget things is when, for example, if I go in and I start teaching you JavaScript, right? And I just start teaching you, here's a function, here's a for loop, here's a variable, here's a constant, here's a let, and I just start throwing you a bunch of shit. By the time you go through all of that, you already forgot it, right? But if we go in and we teach you, here's a variable, here's a function, and let's go in and build a project within the website, right, of things that you already seen how that works. For example, let's say, I don't know, let's say the drop down menu on YouTube, right? When you click or on the, was it here, I think, on the left side of your screen, if you're looking at on a desktop, there's gonna be a button there where you could slide the menu, right, or hide it. If you're able to understand, oh, when we click that button, right, we're listening for the event. When that event triggers, then from there we're using that function to have a code block inside of it, and we're gonna target this other element, which is the slider right here, right, or the slide menu, and we add a class to it. Now you're building something that you see all the time, and now you understand how those things work on a website. Guess what? That same concept, those same things that we just went over, is the same shit you're gonna be doing for the rest of your life in web development. Okay? Now, if I just go in and give you 2 hours of fucking syntax, you're not gonna remember shit. I don't remember most of the syntax. I got 10 plus years. I don't remember most of the syntax. Right? right? You go in, you put me right now on Microsoft Word, right? I could write you the majority of things, but I'm still gonna need an auto completion somewhere. I'm not gonna remember everything. It's almost impossible for you to remember everything. Now, sometimes some people do remember everything, but that's really because they just focusing on one thing. When you're someone like me, I can't focus on remembering everything. What I do is I remember the concepts and I use the tools for what they need to be used for. So if in my memory I don't need to remember every single thing about syntax, but I know what the concept is, I can use the text editor to help me write whatever it is that I need to write. And now with AI, it's even better because I might not even remember the steps of doing something specifically at that moment, but now I know exactly what I need to do and how it works, and I could tell the AI, hey, this is the things that I need to get done, and it will build it for me. Or if I'm still learning, I will say, how would I do this? And it will break down step by step, line by line, the things that I will need to do. Right? Don't try to remember things. Don't try to go in and be like, well, I'm trying to remember every syntax, or I'm trying to remember every fucking thing. Once you do that, you're putting yourself basically to fail. Okay? What you want to do is remember concepts. Okay? That's where you got to go in. Take those things and put it in your brain. Okay? And keep it there somewhere. But don't focus so much on like I gotta remember every syntax, I gotta remember every single thing. Like there's things in CSS that, for example, like how to do filters, right? I can't remember the exact way to do filters, but I know exactly what I need to do, right? You get what I'm saying? Like I could go in right now and search, well, I don't know how CSS filters, and if I want to change the saturation of an image using CSS, I don't know how to do that by memory, but I could go in and say, well, CSS filter, let's say web, right? So the way how you do it is like this. Right? Now, remember, I just told you, I'm not going to remember the exact same way of how to do this, but I know exactly that if I want to change the contrast, so I want to change the saturation, I got to change the filter on this element. So look, this is how I would do it. I will go in, use contrast, change the different contrast from here. It could be maybe a 10%, maybe it's a 30%, maybe I want to go in and put a 200%, which is going to make it more contrast, right? Or maybe I want to go in and change the, you know, put in drop shadow. I could change this from here, right? So there's a bunch of different filters that you can use on images, on elements, etc. But how do you remember all of this, right? If someone goes in and tells you, well, we're going to test you if you remember how to set up filters, no one does that. No one. You get what I'm saying? So if you go in and you try to remember everything, you be like, man, I'm just trying to remember things. Like, this is not a spelling bee. Okay? Now, for certain interviews, like if you're going for companies where they do like algorithm tests, right? And you know, design, architecture, like then that, you know, that's something different. That's something that you, in a sense, you're learning concepts and then you're remembering how to solve specific problems by using certain techniques. That's different than trying to remember everything in syntax. You know. Going through here. What's going on, Gary? Let me see. Yes, in my company, I get to build the design. I have to build the emails with it. We're currently refreshing all the templates. So now, as I'm learning some design rules as I go. Yep. Joe, what's your thoughts on dark mode for our portfolio? I personally think that it's better to have light mode. Dark mode is like a default for every developer, right? If I go in and I go on a website and remember, everybody's applying to the same jobs, everybody applying to the same things. Everyone's portfolio is gonna look the same way. Everyone's doing the same shit. So what I try to do is that when they land on my portfolio, it stands out, stops whatever they're doing, and be like, okay, this guy's different. Because I just seen 20 people send me a link to GitHub. I just seen 20 people with ugly ass dark mode. With dark mode, it's not supposed to just be black. People think dark mode is supposed to be a thing between contrast between white and gray, okay? And people just have a black background and think that that's dark mode. So you have to be careful when you go in and you use dark mode, because you want to go in and use it a specific way, right? Also too, you want to stand out. If I want to stand out, I want to do something that is completely different. No one's going to show up with a portfolio like I have, right? They don't show up with portfolios like that. Most developers, they're focusing so much on the code that they forget the presentation, right? And this is the difference between someone who's a professional and someone who's a beginner, and also too, what type of developer you are. Because you could be a developer that, again, that's like really just focused on, I don't know, I'm trying to think about some crazy project. Like, you focus on like lower level languages, like you're using Rust, you're optimizing, you have a project that optimizes an image and compresses it into a small PNG, this and that. Like, you going deep into it, right? That guy might not even have a portfolio at all, right? Because his projects don't really depend on what it's supposed to look like. But the type of companies that I work for and that I focus on, presentation is everything. I'm in the space of e-commerce, right? E-commerce is selling products online. If a website doesn't look good, doesn't look professional, doesn't look trustworthy, people is not gonna buy from it. Okay? If a checkout doesn't look properly, doesn't have the right things, people's not gonna buy from it. If it's not loading fast enough, people's not gonna buy from it. So when I build my portfolio, I'm doing it the same way how a software as a service company or e-commerce company builds landing pages. It's the same concept, because that's the audience of the people that's gonna hire me. You know what I'm saying? So again, every portfolio is not gonna be the same. But when we go into all of these spaces and I send my portfolio, I stand out. That I don't know who this guy is, but he knows something, because his site looks great, everything looks immaculate. He has exactly everything that we need. He's not giving me, yo, I know Python, I know this, and that. What you mentioning Python for? You don't do no Python in e-commerce. I mean, you could, right, in some position, but in reality, what we need you to do is maybe some Google tags, Facebook pixels, right? Maybe knowing Shopify, maybe knowing WordPress, maybe knowing WooCommerce, maybe knowing BigCommerce, maybe knowing how to work with Facebook ads, right? How to work with SEO. So when you go into the space, you got to know who's your target audience. It's the same thing. Somebody who goes in and says, "Well, I want to apply to Meta as a software engineer for the VR department." What you doing showing up in there with a Python project and a JavaScript snake game? That shit's not gonna get you a look. You're gonna have to go in and build a game. You're gonna have to go in and build an interactive experience. You get what I'm saying? It's like you gotta know who's your audience. Sometimes people be like, "Well, I just know how to code," but don't know who they actually showing their projects and portfolios, for, right? And this is the biggest problem a lot of people face, is like they know how to code, but they don't have a specific niche and they don't have a specific target for jobs. Coding phase. Do you also create games? I've created a couple of games, but I just haven't had the time, to be honest with you, bro. I'm in bag season, bro. I'm in bag season right now. Bag season is I'm grinding. This is 2017 Joe, hungry Joe, right? So everything that I'm focusing on is things that's gonna generate me a lot of income, right? As you guys might know, we're in the process of getting out of Florida. So right now I'm in bag season. You know what I'm saying? 2017 Joe, grinding, right? Focusing on software as a service, right? Focusing on coding phase, right? Codingphase.com is a mixture between software as a service and online education, right? So That's the wave that we're focusing on. You know, Trader Planner is another software as a service that we've been working on. I had to put a stop to it. I put a pause on it because I had to knock this out, this new version of Coding Phase, the last couple of months, so I could focus on everything else that I'm gonna focus on next year. Okay, so the goal for this new version of Coding Phase in reality is that we're taking the experience and the knowledge that we've been able to accumulate the last 8 years in helping regular folks into getting into the tech industry and implementing it into a program which is pretty much a software as a service, right? That's why we have we have the online courses, which is the video courses. We have the interactive lessons. We have the portfolio projects, right? We have the resume builder. We have the portfolio template. We have the job boards, okay? By the way, for anybody that is watching this right now and you still haven't came to codingphase.com, come through. You don't want to miss out on this, okay? I'm telling you guys right now, you do not want to miss out on this new version, codingphase.com. Literally, it's $30 a month, $102 a year. So you're basically paying 50 cents a day. Come through, okay? Take advantage. It's up to you, okay? No pressure. You come when you're ready, okay? If you're not seeing no results anywhere else, come through. Trust me, this is what I've been doing for the past 8 years. So yeah, right now focusing on the new version of Coding Phase, implementing all of these new tools and all new services. Like I said, I'm taking everything that I've learned in the last 8 years and now building it as a software as a service. Okay, that's one of the reasons why, starting January 1st, we're not doing meetings with new people. Only the people that came in and signed up in 2025, 2026, anybody who signs up, you're basically getting just the services that we provide. This is my last year where I go in and I help people directly myself. After this year is pretty much, this is the company, codingphase.com. It's a software as a service, helps people learn the skills and get them in the game. Okay, I don't think that nobody else has as much experience as me in helping regular folks transition into tech, and at the same time by creating the tools that they're gonna need, allows me to have more time and more freedom for myself to work on other projects, and that's why now we're building this new version of Coding Phase, because in reality, like I give you the facts. Like I talked to a couple of companies just to see, what a business value is in there, and going back and forth. Some people were giving me some good offers. Some people were like, "Yo, you got a solid brand. You got a solid business here. You got a solid amount of subscribers, right? But the business doesn't run without you, right?" And that was facts, right? Because I did so much of the work. So how do we run the business without Joe, right? And that's why we have Coding Phase version 4. Everything in here is laid out for you. You don't need me. I just gave you the whole game plan. I just laid out everything that I've been doing for everybody in one platform and made it even more affordable, which allows us to go in and branch off to, multiple countries, different languages, and then now sell this as a package. So the day that I decide to have an exit plan, we're looking at, a couple of 8 figures. You know what I'm saying? But how do we do that? It can't be dependent on Joe. So that's why we went in, focused the last, 3 months on just how do we implement this whole system that I've had for years to help people get into the game, right? And implement it as a software as a service. That's why you get codingphase.com version 4. Okay? I give you guys a lot of game. I always tell you guys and tell you exactly what moves I'm making. You know what I mean? Yes. Can't wait for the trade class. Yes, that's coming too. That's coming too. We're gonna be adding it to codingphase.com too, because I want to add that there. And again, it's not like we're teaching you how to trade to be a millionaire. It's to learn the skills, learn how to use these tools, and pretty much teach you guys exactly what I wish somebody would have taught me years ago. Like my biggest mistake. I've made so many mistakes over the years because I just didn't know. I didn't know nobody that know how to trade. I didn't know nobody about finance. I didn't know nobody about none of this shit. I've been just solo, going through this and making it happen. Right now with this new platform, it's gonna be even easier for me to go in and set up those trainings for for trading for people that's interested in that. And also too, one of the things that I've always wanted to do, which was how do I go in and start bringing other instructors into coding phase? Because like for example, like Salesforce, I can't jump into Salesforce right now because I'm so busy. I can't jump into automation, right? CRMs. I can't jump into that because I'm already too busy. So how do I split myself into a million pieces? I can't. So now I got to go in and partner up with other people, bring it into the table, and then now we could go in and make coding phase bigger than what it has been. I think the thing that has stopped me from getting it to the highest level that I could get codingphase.com is because I've done everything myself. And this year I said, you know what? I gotta build a system where it's not depending on me, it's following the structure that I already brought into coding phase that I know works, but I have to set that up as tools for people. So it won't be I have to go over your resume. No, we have a resume builder. This is how you build your resume. Hey, I don't go over your portfolio review. Guess what? We built your portfolio template and we give it to you. Now I don't have to go in and review your portfolio because I know if you use my templates, it works because I built it for you. You get what I'm saying? Same thing for the parts of uh, looking for a job. I don't have to tell you what the keywords and the jobs that you should be looking for. When you sign up to codingphase.com, you say, I'm doing the email developer web administration career path. I'm already searching for the jobs and giving it to you, right? So at that point, you don't really need me to do it for you. Everything's already been done for you, and all you have to do is log in to your account. You get what I'm saying? See the play now? So again, and that's what is gonna allow me to go in and have more flexibility with other things. Because for all these years, it was cute, when I was doing this shit with like 50 people, 100 people. But when you got thousands of people coming in and you're doing all this stuff, you're like you're spreading yourself up into a million pieces. I can't do that no more, right? And also too, when I sat down with a couple of people this past summer, it's like, hey man, if I wanted to sell coding phase, I will have to go in and be part of coding phase for 3 years for the transition to work, right? Because that's when you sell your business. Sometimes, if your business so connected to you, you will have to pretty much, in a sense, um, be part of this new business venture, and you work as an employee as the transition happens. I'm like, I'm not doing that. You get what I'm saying? So for that, I gotta go in and be like, okay, what's gonna be the long term play? Because as we continue, we're about to hit 10 years now with solid reviews, solid people coming in. Of course, you might see some random shit on Reddit. On Reddit, it's like a couple of Indian dudes that don't like me posting shit on Reddit. Like, I don't care. What I care about is the people that's there in the Hall of Fame, the people that's here in the comment section, the people that actually have came through the program. You know what I'm saying? But with that being said, like, we've been doing this shit for 8 years. If this shit didn't work, somebody would have pulled up a card and be like, well, this is bullshit. And they would have pulled that card 7, 8 years ago, right? Every year we've been doing good because of that. We basically we deliver on what we promise. Now, of course, it's like a gym. If you sign up to a gym and you don't do no work and you're still fat, you can't show up to LA Fitness and be like, well, man, I ain't lose no weight. Well, here you go. We have how many times you logged in. We have how many times you actually did anything. We have every time that you did any of the work, how many meetings you came to. Yeah, you still fat because you fat. You don't want to stop eating those fucking midnight donuts and ice cream with soda. That's on you. The gym's been here. You know what I'm saying? The trainer's been here. The machines have been greased. You just ain't show up. The gym is open. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's just the facts, right? And that's all you could really do at some point, right? as a gym owner. Eric Williams, what does that have to do with me, my guy? I'm a U.S. citizen, bro. It's gonna be hard. You know what I'm saying? I'm a U.S. citizen, bro. But thank God, right? Because they're definitely not playing around here. You get what I'm saying? Let me see. Running through here. Man, boom, boom. Coding face coming to trade class. Yeah, man. And to be honest with you guys, the way how I'm gonna build that course is really teaching you guys the tools. Don't expect, hey man, how I'm gonna make my bread. No, I don't want you to come into with this shit with this mentality because you're gonna lose money. The best way is to really go in this days that there's opportunities for a day trade, and there's days that you have to see opportunities like a swing trade. Like right now, I don't know if you guys noticed, like Nvidia dropped like 20%. That was a great swing trade. You could have bought at 183, sold at 190 something. It's not crazy money, but it's a good amount. And if you hold it, you say, well, I came in at 180 and I'm holding it for next year, 2 years, 3 years, that's just gonna be at $300, $400. You just double and triple your money. Right? Now again, no financial advice. My job here is just to show you guys how to use the tools and teach you, the fundamentals of how this shit works. Because at that point then you gotta go in and choose like what you want to do. If you want to day trade, you could day trade. Right now the market, I'll be honest, the market's been kicking my ass for day trading. I'm not day trading at all. I'm taking my ass out because um, all the stuff that's happening with Trump every freaking week, it's crazy. So right now what you gotta do is wait for the market to correct itself, and then when opportunities come in, there's like small little plays, you come in. But I took a couple of L's on July and September, like big L's, like shit that wiped out like damn near what almost everything I made in the summer, like on 2 3 days. You know what I'm saying? So I say I'm good. I'm not doing day trading until the market corrects itself and um, the market's more stable. You know, and that's the things that I'm gonna go in and show you guys, like where my mistakes were at, what did I learn over time, right, and what's the right way. Now for me, uh, with swing trading, I've been doing fucking great. Like the Beyond Me, I did great. Open, I did great. There's a couple of them that I did great, but I was like a swing trade. That wasn't a day trade. That was swing trading. That was like holding it for multiple days, seeing an opportunity. Boom, want to reach a certain point, I double or triple my money, got out. Because those same plays dropped like crazy after the next 2 days after it hit the all time high, not all time high, but like high of the year, etc. Right, 52-week high. So those are the things that I will go in and talk to you guys about and teach you how to use the tools and understand you don't have to be in every play. And if a play already happened and you missed it, you missed it. It's better to stay out because you're playing with real money. It's not monopoly money. Okay? Let me see. No, I don't do algo trading. I don't even know how that shit works. I'm not. I'll be honest. A lot of that shit seems like scams. So yeah. Let me see. Do you miss working for companies sometimes? I miss working with cool people sometimes. Not like working for a company, but working with cool people. Because also too, it gets kind of lonely. It sounds corny, but when you work from home, you got your own business, you make your own bread. It gets kind of lonely when you're like oh, it's like me. Like I don't really know nobody here in Florida. To be honest with you, I don't know nobody here. Um, but I moved here to give a better life for my kids. But technically, all my family, all my friends is in New York. So when I'm here, I'm just dolo. You know what I'm saying? I'm just dolo. I don't really know nobody like that. That's just a fact. Sometimes you got to do sacrifices for others. But when you work at companies that are cool and you're working with cool and co-workers, that shit is always nice. Even like this summer, I was thinking about jumping into a couple of companies out here. Remember I told you guys I was applying to a couple of companies, got like 7 interviews in one weekend, but then after I started doing the math wasn't mathing, bro. Like I'll be honest, like I give you an example. Like there was a couple of roles that were good, right? But then they were like 95,000, or there was another one for like 110. But then when I go in and I do the math of like the things that I already do, I would basically have to, in a sense, like take a pay cut to be around other people. In a sense, to work with other people. Like it just didn't make sense for me. When I went in, I'm like, this don't make no fucking sense. I mean, like I'll show you. I don't know if I should show you. Like I just started working on this new version of Coding Phase, right? So just on Coding Phase alone, it's just one, right? Let me go to the dashboard real quick. I think my internet is acting up. Froze, guys. That's it. Froze. I gotta put this to charge, man, before my shit dies. So before my shit is about to die, guys. My computer about to die. That's it. RIP the. Let me see if I can find a charger quick. Let me see if I find a charger before it dies. All right, just to get my final thought out before I get out of here. Ethan, let me get this charger.
No.
I need it. Hold on. My laptop's about to die. All right, let's see. Let's see if it charges. Let's see if it charges. No. The computer about to die right now. I gotta end it properly.
Sit down, sit down, sit down. Sit down.
All right, so. All right, I don't know if you guys can see me or not, or this shit is too choppy. Let me know if it's too choppy on the chat. Okay, it's charging up. It's charging up. I'm about to get out of here because I gotta put this to charge. But I wanted to get this thought out, right? So I'll give you an example, right? So, Coding Phase, right? We just got this new version out, right? And we just started running some ads on it, right? So we haven't. We got basically like around like 487 new signups just this month alone. 487 new signups. So if you go in and you do the math from that, right? The 487 signups at $30, right? You go in and you calculate that. And you will go in and be like, okay, that's in less than 20 days, right? Would you go in and be like, stop working on your software that you already have? Or would you go in and be like, yo, let me go take a 90K job? Would that make sense? I mean, you calculate that, right? 487 times 30, right? That's new signups, new people. You know what I'm saying? So you calculate that, and that's on recurring revenue, monthly revenue, right? Of course, you don't get to keep everything. You gotta pay taxes. You keep a little bit less than half, right? So at that point, you start thinking about it, and you're like, okay, that don't make no sense for me to go in and do that, right? So that's why we're focusing a lot on the software as a service, because this is where the bread is at. You know what I mean? And once we finish everything how I want it for the new trading feature on Coding Phase, the new CRM specialist, Salesforce, right? The automation specialist. Like, this is a new run. You get what I'm saying? Like, you double down. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, and I haven't even put like a lot of bread on the ads. Like, once I go in after Black Friday, by the way, Black Friday is coming up, guys. After Black Friday, that's when we're gonna go in on the last few days of Black Friday. That's when we're gonna go in and really put in, like, 10, 20 bands on ads. That's a couple of thousand new signups. So with a new, like I said, like, we're taking Coding Phase from just being like online training to being a software as a service for people who want to learn how to get into the tech industry. It's just changing everything from just like, hey, here's a course. It's like, no, we're gonna handle everything for you. You get what I'm saying? We're gonna do everything that you're gonna need. So that's what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying? I just wanted to end that thought. It's like, what would you do? You go in like, yo, I'll take 90, 95,000, 110,000, or do you say, let me reinvest my time more into my own businesses, and then we'll figure out if I need more people, if I want to be around people, we'll open up a coffee shop or some shit like that. You get what I'm saying? Now I'll come downstairs, be like, yo, we in the coffee shop, and we over here with, I'll do barista for fun. You know what I'm saying? Like, and at that point we do barista, and be like, yo, we just do fucking conversations and chopped cheese sandwiches. If I want to be around people. For now, let me mind my own business and just continue coding and build everything that I need to build. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, guys, listen, I love you guys. Definitely check out codingphase.com if you want to come in and learn the new skills. Everything that I already know is exactly what I teach you guys. This whole thing, right? By the way, anybody that's interested in the in the profitable developer course, is gonna be literally 75% off, right? 75% off for Black Friday. So some of you guys that been wanting that, want to see exactly how I've been doing this for the last few years, of like how I build my own business, how to freaking promote it, how I do my research, how I figure out what's coming next, how to find opportunities. Definitely check out the Profitable Developer course. Pretty soon, we're gonna put in it on the links in the description for Black Friday, and you could catch it at 75% off. Currently, right now, the price that you're seeing is the price on Coding Phase for the Black Friday. For the Diamond membership, it's $30 a month, which gives you access to all the courses, everything that we have on the platform. And basically, you have the 50% off also too attached on the yearly. So for $182, you could sign up for a whole year and get access to all the courses, all the services, everything. At the end of the day, do what you got to do. What makes sense to you, okay? If you've been wanting somebody to come in and help you out with this process, this is the best platform. You're not gonna find nobody else that's done this for 8+ years. We started in 2017, and we've helped thousands of people get into this game. It's up to you, okay? I'm just a gym owner, you know what I'm saying, and the gym trainer. If you don't show up to the gym, you're still gonna be fat, so it's up to you. All right, I'm gonna see you guys later. It's your boy Joe, back at it again, codingphase.com. Peace. Take care, guys. Happy Sunday. Enjoy your day. All right, take care.